I'm Chelsea Carter. This is my first day into my new makeover, y'all. It's the last time I will ever look like this.
Welcome to another episode of Chelsea's Live Line. Of course, I'm your host, Chelsea. If you're new here, thank you for being a part of Chelsea's Live Line fam. And you can do that officially by hitting that subscribe button, okay? You see it below, as well as hitting that like button, especially if you like the content that I do produce for you. So thank you so much for being here. And shout out to my day ones. A1 since day one. I appreciate y'all all for being here. Today's episode is really close to my heart. It's about me. It's about the community. It's called Why I'll Never Be Obese Again. I'm talking about myself personally because there's a lot going on in our community and the numbers are not in our favor. So I want to give a shout out to everybody that's in the chat right now. I see y'all here. Tracy, my big sis, Cure for the Soul Ministries, Latanya, shout out to you for being here. Repping the D, of course. Shout out to Successful Melanated Dusty. I see you shorten your name, Successful MD. Okay, I can rock with it. Shout out to my big sis, Mona, as well. And shout out to my bro, Harrison Family Values, for being here, and Gail. I see y'all all in the chat. And Laura, shout out to you for being here. I appreciate y'all. Today's episode is called Why I'll Never Be Obese Again. I've been obese before. It's not fun. And I'm going to tell you about the journey I had to deal with as I've been obese, as I went from overweight when I was a child to obese now. But before I get into that, I'm going to get into what's going on. Why am I talking about this topic? It's because of the fact that it is National Obesity Education Week, okay? So National Obesity Awareness Week. And this is something that is celebrated in the UK, but I'm bringing it over to the USA today. That's what I'm going to do because the USA numbers are alarming. The diet industry is making more than $70 billion, but for some reason, everybody ain't healthy. Why is that? Because they know they're finessing us. Because we take the word diet and think it has to apply to our life. No, diet means that basically you dying while you're doing this because it's not sustainable in the long term. Instead, you have to think about a lifestyle change because you are living a life. That means you have to style it according to the way you want to live. And that's by making those necessary changes, which we'll get into in just a bit. Let me talk about the word of the day first. God's word of the day. What am I picking today? 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 31. So whether you eat or drink or whatever you do, do it all for the glory of God. It's as simple as that. Don't be out here eating that donut when you know God said you shouldn't be out here eating that donut. Don't go out here splurging when you know that you should just take a little piece of that food because it's okay to have things in moderation. But when you do more than moderation, that's when you get into gluttony. And that's the word of the day, gluttony. I'm going to tell you what that is because that's one of the 7 deadly sins. A lot of people don't know about that. Gluttony is habitual greed or excess in eating. Habitual greed or excess in eating. That means when you constantly taking more than what you know you need, know that you deserve, that's gluttony. That's the word of the day if you didn't know what that means. And let me show you some examples of that, right? Gluttony. We see it here, 600-pound life. Every time I watch this show, I'm thinking to myself like, dang, all I have to do is watch this show for me to just get a reality check real quick. Him eating this whole pizza is unnecessary. It's unnecessary. And what we have to realize is that most of the time when we think we're eating to get full, our brain has to catch up with our eating. Our brain knows we're full before we even eat all this food, but it's just the fact that we just keep eating and eating and eating. And I don't like to see all that stuff because it makes me depressed looking at 600-pound life. And I'm just going to keep it real with that. Okay? So that's gluttony. Another example of gluttony is in the case where you have people on 600-pound life that are walking with plates of lasagna, the whole pan of lasagna, back to their room. They won't walk outside, but they will walk to the room with their lasagna to indulge. And we have to figure out why. Why is this happening to our communities? Because it's real sickening and it's gluttony, to say the least. And I see y'all in this chat. Shout out to y'all, Nan-Wan. I think this is my first time seeing you, but thank you so much for being here. Shout out to my bro, that Christian fam, Jermaine and Nikki over there. He said, I had a donut yesterday. You had a donut yesterday. That was yesterday. But today, as long as you're back on track, that's all that matters. Because look, if y'all saw the thumbnail, I eat my Oreo cheesecake from Cheesecake Factory. That's not going to stop whatsoever, okay? 70 pounds, whether I was 70 pounds heavier or where I'm at now, the cheesecake ain't going nowhere. It's about the moderation, okay? That's what it's about, y'all. So y'all can have what y'all want, but at the end of the day, it's about that moderation. And she said, those people on 600-pound life are never single. I'm telling you, the skinniest of the skinniest men will go with these women who are 600 plus pounds and literally be wiping their behinds, right, wiping from the front to the back, all for a check. They will do anything for a check. You know, tax season comes in, they boot up. As soon as tax season goes away, back single again, crying, talking about, my boyfriend left me, my boyfriend left me. You know, they doing all this stuff because of checks, because of clout. That's all that is. Okay? You can't have this cheesecake. That's all. Moderation. And shout out to you, Red Lipstick Vibes. I appreciate you for being here. Thank you so much. And make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying this content. I'm trying to get to 1,000. Y'all, hopefully soon, God willing, that we can get this stuff out here. And shout out to my brother Chavis. I've been praying for you and your family. Definitely been keeping y'all in my prayers. So thank you for being here. But yeah, put away them pizzas. It's just unnecessary. But hit this like button. I'm going to keep this going. So that's what gluttony is. Gluttony is what you just saw. The women that's taking a lasagna to their bedroom to eat, to indulge. I saw one person on 600 Pound Life that was literally cooking, seasoning pork chops on the bed. That's gluttony. That's doing too much. Like, you won't get up to make it, but you'll sit there and eat it. I mean, you'll sit there and make it, and then somebody else doesn't love you enough that they'll go and make the food for you and bring it back to you, knowing that you're not able to do that. You're not able to walk and make it. So a verse that relates to gluttony is the following. Proverbs 23, 1 through 2. It's pretty harsh, y'all. When you sit to dine with a ruler, note well what is before you. Examine what's in front of you, y'all. And put a knife to your throat if you are given to gluttony. They said it. I didn't. I'm just giving you the word. It says, look, put a knife to your throat if you are given to gluttony. It's as simple as that. All right, I see y'all lit in the chat. So again, National Obesity Awareness Week is this week. That's why I'm getting into this topic. I'm gonna let you know a little bit about my weight loss journey. I started back in 2017 and I've been going ever since to maintain. And now I have an online coach who's helping me to get out that maintain mode and get in grind zone. That's what I'm doing. But let me give y'all stats. Like, shout out to my bro Jermaine, because I know he loves stats. So that's what I'm hitting y'all with first. First and foremost, look at this number. Look at this percentage, 80%. What is 80%? 80%, which is 4 out of 5 Black women, are considered overweight or obese, according to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Office of Minority Health. 80%, y'all. 4 out of 5. We don't like to hear it, but that's just what it is. Exactly. Jermaine know his stats, and that's a fact. 80% are considered overweight and obese. And see, I'm telling y'all as a woman, because first of all, P.S., before anybody be like, oh, this skinny girl telling me about weight loss, blah, 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 blah. You're going to see the pictures if you haven't already, but I was obese. I was in the obese category. I'm going to give you the whole breakdown. So I am able to tell you about the struggles I faced. Like, what I wouldn't like if I was obese is a woman who was skinny, who never had to struggle with weight, telling me about I need to lose weight. I wouldn't want to hear that from her. So I understand if you're obese and you're like, this girl telling me to lose weight. I've struggled. I've been there, and I understand what it took for me to shift my mind so I wouldn't have to be there anymore. And that's why I'm trying to let y'all know that these are the stats. Hear it from a woman than from a man, because y'all don't want to listen to what men have to say. You don't want to listen to what men want. But listen now, do what you have to do for yourself, because I wouldn't tell you to lose weight for that man, because it's not going to be sustainable. Think about this. You're a woman that says, oh, I'll lose 50 pounds to get with that man because he told me he likes women who are medium sized and I'm on the large side. You lose that weight for that man. As soon as that man does something to trigger you or makes you mad, here you go emotional eating again, because you never determined the why. You determined what? You said, what? I need to lose the weight. Why? You never figured out why was I gaining the weight from the get-go. So you got to figure out your why, your reasoning, and it can't be for man, okay? It's got to be for you personally. Or for your family, but it's got to make sense for you. Otherwise, it's not going to be sustainable. And then here you come with these fad diets, talking about keto, Cheeto, Frito, all these different diets that y'all are doing, and y'all wonder why y'all cannot sustain the weight loss. It's because of the fact that y'all don't know what y'all doing. Y'all doing short-term things, thinking y'all going to get long-term results. It don't work that way. I'm going to get into it some more, okay? I'm going to get into some more. Let me talk about BMI. And BMI does not stand for Black men are intimidated. It don't stand for that. It don't stand for blame the white man. It don't stand for none of that. BMI stands for Body Mass Index. I'm going to tell you what that is because everyone has one. There are charts out here, but before I even get into the charts, I'm going to let you know what professionals have to say about body mass index. Watch this clip.
80 to 90% more likely to be overweight than than non-white Hispanic women?
Well, it's interesting because those studies are based on body mass index, which is a calculation of height and weight. And I think most of them don't take into account that black women have a higher bone density than white women. Right, so their bones actually weigh more. So if you have a black woman who's 5'5" at 165 pounds, she's technically, based on her BMI, overweight.
Okay.
So the BMI studies don't totally account.
So they don't really
account
give you
for that.
as accurate a picture.
Right. That being said, you still have a high number of black women that are way over 35 BMI, which really puts you in the overweight or obese category. I think it's a number of factors. Black women are under a tremendous amount of stress.
Right.
Depending on where they live, may not have access to grocery stores, et cetera. It's multifactorial. It's not as simple as women are eating too much.
Right.
I mean, that's a simplistic way of looking at it.
Or not exercising.
Or not exercising. I think it's multifactorial. And women really have to look at that and do self-examination.
Women have to do a self-examination for themselves. One thing she mentioned is that it's not as easy as 1, 2, 3. This whole BMI, the reason that women are overweight is because of stress, right? There may be multiple factors. I understand that women are under a lot of stress. For example, maybe they're a single mother and they're trying to provide for their family, so they'll make sure their children eat better than they do. But I think in that case, it's like the fact is that when we have this independent mind state, we have this feminism that says that we don't need a man. And then you're talking about you have this stress. Some of that stress could be alleviated if you stop picking these no good Negroes, but these no good Negroes, and instead find you a decent man who can really help raise your family and help you as a wife as well to help alleviate some of that struggle that you have. But if you're struggling by yourself, then that means you're gonna have to fix some priorities, because let's say you got one aspect together, you got your degrees, you got your education down packed, you leveling up with that. But if you leveling down with the physical, then it don't matter, because them degrees ain't gonna make no man happy. It's really not. I'm just gonna tell you what it is, because it's not. All right, I'm gonna get into the BMI chart that I have for y'all real quick, just to tell y'all what BMI is, and I'm gonna get into my story next. All right, so here's the BMI, body mass index. And one thing the lady mentioned, she's a doctor, she mentioned the fact that women, specifically black women, have a higher bone density than our counterparts, which are the non-white Hispanic women. But let's say here, for example, a normal body mass index is 18.5 to 25. That's normal. Overweight would be considered 25 to 30, okay? And then we have these obese classes, right? So 30 to 40 plus, where really the goal is for every woman to have a BMI less than 30. I'm gonna keep it there first. That's a good starting point, because I really was in, I believe, obese class 1 when I first got started. I believe, I'll have to check that. And then I got into the overweight. And then it all depends, because like, for example, when you start losing weight and you're starting to build muscle, then sometimes you will find yourself in that overweight category at the lower ends of it. For example, myself, I'm 5'7.5", 167 at the moment, plus or minus pounds, depending on the day, right? Therefore, I can look smaller than the weight that I'm at, all because I have muscle, which is more dense than the fat. And as a result, your body's going to look different than somebody who is 167. My body's going to look different than somebody who's 167, but is made up of more fat. They have more body fat. See, people want to lose weight far as the pounds. I'm not focusing on the number at this point in time, because I've been in the game. This is about to be my 6th year on my weight loss journey. I'm focusing more so on the body fat, because I can be 167, but literally have abs and everything, versus 167 and have a bunch of rolls. It all depends. So I'm saying, like, everybody's different, but we focus so much on the weight loss. That means you're going to be losing muscle as well. And you don't want to lose muscle, because again, muscle is what's going to make you look like something and provide that hourglass shape that us ladies do desire. Because I don't think no woman out here just wants to be overweight, wants to be obese, but the body positivity movement has you believing that's acceptable, because when I say body positivity, the first person y'all think of is Lizzo. Lizzo is out here exposing her body parts, and I don't care if she was skinny, and I don't care if she's overweight. It's gotta stop, because it's not promoting anything positive. It's promoting the fact that you think you can do what you want and that you have no consequences for showing your body out here. There are kids watching you, and there are adults like me who don't want to see it. So I'm not gonna be following people like that. Like, the first thing you think about when you think about Lizzo is not her music. Why men great till they gotta be great. You're not thinking about the music. You are thinking about her acting a fool, twerking at every single award show that she performing at. Tell me if I'm wrong, please. I would like to hear it. And if I am, just let me know. But seriously, I just want to know. And thank you, Mona. Yes, I'm on my goals and we work out. And that's why I'm so thankful to have a community, because I think the first thing you have to think about as it relates to your weight loss or, your weight loss journey is a community. You cannot have people, the same people that was eating them street tacos with you cannot be the same people that's over here eating that grilled chicken with you. It doesn't work that way. For example, you got people you hit up when you're about to have a cheat meal. You have people that you hit up when you are about to eat healthy, but you can't have those people who were there for you at your fattest to respect you when you're there at your smallest. Because people will literally call you out like, you losing too much weight. I've heard it all. You losing too much weight. You look skinny. This, that, you malnutrition. Nobody told me that, but I'm just thinking like all the things. You on crack now because you're losing weight. But nobody told me anything when I was heavy. That's why I thought it was normal. I thought it was normal because nobody told me otherwise. And that's why I'm trying to help the youth today to say, hey, we need that accountability partner. And shout out to Christina for being here. Yes, it's hard to find that community because everybody want to call you out when you losing weight. Like, dang, I'm not bougie now because I lost some weight. I lost a few pounds. I'm the same Chelsea. I'm just not going to be eating all these ribs. I'm going to eat a little ribs. I'm going to give me a good amount of collard greens. I'm going to give me a little bit of cornbread because I still eat good food. I still eat good. Ask anybody who know me. When it's cheat meal day, I'm going cray-cray. Okay? Seriously, I heard that like you're not in my body. Like, come on, I have goals to meet. And if you're not with it, you're just not with it. So you're gonna have to go to the sidelines. So shout out to KL. My gym family is very appreciative of our different shapes and desire to work hard for our goals. Love them. But please don't judge my street tacos. Ain't nobody judging your street tacos, brother. Okay?
Who gonna check me, bro?
Ain't nobody checking for your street tacos. Look, but seriously, Aunt Tracy said the way we eat is often learned from childhood and culture, and I'm about to get into it in just a second. We often realize that what we are fed, we're fed, sustained us, but gained us an array of complications. See, for example, this is what people say: heart disease runs in my family. Heart disease runs in my family. I say, ain't nothing running in your family, because if everything was running in your family, then we wouldn't be talking about any diseases. To be real, the only thing that's running is the excuses. Diabetes runs in my family. But if it runs in your family, then you need to make sure that it runs out of your family. That's up to you to do that. Because I'm tired of the excuses. We know what's going on. We know we got this disease. We got heart disease. And for example, Black women specifically, when we are overweight, it causes the opportunity for us to have cancer at alarming rates. Heart disease. We die for, especially breast cancer. So breast cancer and heart disease are just some of the causes of us being overweight. Okay, let's run it out. Let's run it out. It runs in the family. Ain't nothing running. Let's get out there and jog. Let's get out there and walk. Let's get out there and crawl. But we got to go do something, because 10 to 15 years later, Big Mama, y'all saw it in Soul Food. Big Mama was feeding them kids all them plates of food and whatnot. And she ends up passing away all because they was eating soul food. I say it all the time. We can eat all the soul food we want, but literally that food is going to turn us into a soul. We can eat all the soul food we want, but that food is going to turn us into a soul quicker than we want it to, because Big Mama is over here feeding us this food. Cornbread, fish, and collard greens. I got what you need if you want it. If you want it. Cornbread, fish, and collard greens. Shout out to Gracious Greatness for being here. And let's see what he said. Good morning from this side to yours. Good morning. Wow. Shout out to you. He said, and all the bros and sisters in the chat. Yes, that was Big Mama and Soul Food. Yes, it was. Food is fuel. Bro, that's a word. That's a word, because I'm about to get into that next. So shout out to you for that. Food is fuel. If we look at it like that, we will do better in the mindset. Let me talk about that, because think about the fact that you got Alexis. Alexis takes premium fuel. You're not about to be putting this basic fuel into the Lexus, because it ain't gonna ride as smooth. It's not gonna ride around them corners as smooth if you put that bad fuel in that Lexus. We will put the good fuel in our vehicles, but the bad fuel in our bodies, and wonder why we don't have the same stamina. We are not able to perform the same way, because we are not taking the time out to realize that literally food can be an addiction. That's why we have to be careful of what we eat. That's why we have to be careful of what we eat, because it can be the same thing. That same food that tastes good for us, excuse me, let me say that again. The same food that tastes good to us can be bad for us. Everything that is good, that looks good, doesn't mean it's good for us. Same thing here. Be careful what you eat. Look at that. Like, you're literally shooting yourself and don't realize it because it's an addiction at this point in time. It's an addiction. And shout out to Bronze Bird for being here. Thank you so much. And Coach Harry as well. He said, my cousin died of a heart attack at 25. See, that's what I'm saying. That's my age. And that just scares me. He said, from being overweight. And an obese friend of mine recently had a tumor removed. Body positivity is great until your health gets shot like this. Boom. Boom. See, that's what I'm saying. Instead of having them fried foods that grandma was cooking for us at one point in time, how about we use that air fryer? Shout out to Laura. Like, it's the basics for me. Yes. And then Jermaine says he has a Harvard study that he had alluded to. Okay, I'm gonna have to look that up or something in a bit. So let me get to that because I know that the more data we have, the better people can understand, because they don't want to hear it from us sometimes because they think that we're being too sensitive. But I really want to stick to the data. So I'm glad that you mentioned that Harvard study. Hopefully one of my mods, which I got to get more mods soon, but hopefully one of my mods can be able to drop this Harvard study because I can't get a link from you at the moment, only people who are mods. But we'll get to that in just a second, y'all. But seriously, food is fuel. Why not incorporate 80% fruits, vegetables, healthy proteins, and a little bit of the other foods that you like, 20% of quote unquote bad foods, which there's no such thing as good and bad foods. Because let me just tell you this, people be like, oh, if I'm on a keto diet, just eating healthy fats is going to make me lose weight. Things of that nature, right? It's just like the basic stuff, like popcorn is going to make me gain weight. There's no particular food that's going to make you gain weight, and there's no particular food that's going to make you lose weight. You got it? It's about calories in versus calories out. And I'm going to get into that later on another episode. This is going to be a whole series because, you know, for some New Year's resolutions, we say, I'm going to lose 20 pounds this year. I'm going to do this. I'm going to get to the gym. I'm going to do that. But do we follow through with that long term? No, because we don't make a plan with it. And that's why I wanted to talk about this topic as well. So let me get into, without further ado, I'm going to get into my journey with my weight loss over the years and talk about my childhood. And no, this is not my dad. This is actually DJ Earl. DJ Earl was a DJ for the Detroit Shock, which is a WNBA team. Right now, I believe they are Tulsa Shock. They might have changed the name. Of the team from like Tulsa Shock to something else. But at some point in time, I think they're called the Dallas Wings now. Matter of fact, that's crazy. But anyway, Detroit Shock used to be a WNBA team. I used to always go to the games, and this was me. You know, I love basketball. As you can see, I love basketball. I was on a basketball team, basically starting in the 4th grade all the way up until I got to high school, and I played a few years in high school, sprained my ankle a couple times, all that good stuff. But I love basketball. I was always involved in sports, whether it was basketball, track and field, bowling. Yes, you can catch me on the bowling league. In them lanes, staying in my lane at that. Shout out to Latanya for staying in your lane. But for real, I used to always love basketball and love to be active. But that's why I'm telling you, even then, I still remain somewhat chunky, all because I wasn't eating the right foods. I would come back home from school and eat fast foods. As soon as I got out of school, because I was hungry, I'd get me a McDonald's burger. I would get me, I know the cheeks. Thank you, bro. Give me a McDonald's burger. I would get me this, give me that Happy Meal, whatever I was getting at the time. Okay, y'all, I love me some burgers. I did. And that's just what it was. So in the middle there, that's me in middle school at the time. And on the right, that's me in high school. And in high school, that's the first time I actually encountered a situation where I was called a fat bee, right? And I was actually like at this weight, right? I was at this weight and I was called a fat bee, and I was like, okay, fat bee, but nobody ever acknowledged that I was overweight or anything like that at that time, because I really wasn't until I got into college. That's really when I noticed. But before then, I never had a serious relationship in high school. I was more so focused on my education, which allowed me to get a full ride to college because I was focused on my education. So I never focused on the weight. I never focused on the weight. I just knew that it was there, but it wasn't something that hindered me. I was very social. I was a social butterfly. Thank y'all so much. I was a social butterfly and I got along with everybody. Definitely. He said totally disrespectful. Yeah, he was. The guy was totally disrespectful. Over here having a coughing fit. The devil's trying to stop me from presenting this information, but it's going to continue anyway. All right. So yes, very disrespectful, but nonetheless, I encountered that and I realized that Dang, I'm coughing a lot. 1 second, y'all. All right, so anyway, I encountered that. Call me a fat bee, call me out my name, but at the end of the day, hey, I lived on. And from that moment, I went to high school, I went to college. And in college, y'all, this is when I got my biggest in college. On these left two pictures here, I was actually down in Kentucky at the Toyota plant at the time because I was doing some work as a co-op student in college. And this is when I got to my heaviest. Like, I don't look like what I do now. I don't look like what I do now. Like, I really got dark because I was out in the sun during that week in Kentucky with that hot heat at the plant, Toyota plant. But I realized at this point in time that I was at my heaviest. I got up to 221.4. I remember exactly. It was in July of 2017. And I realized I had to make a change because I'm like, this ain't me. This don't look nothing like me. And on the right there, that was just another picture where I did look unhappy at that time being at my heaviest weight. So at 221, I went to the doctor's office and my doctor was telling me that literally you can be pre-diabetic if you don't make changes today. And for me, that is what clicked. Let me tell y'all something about me. I don't like medicine. I don't swallow pills, okay? I chew pills. Therefore, y'all know, anybody about to be on a diabetic medicine or any of that. Cholesterol pills, whatever the case may be, all because I'm not about to be swallowing no pills. And I definitely don't like the way pills taste, like chewing pills and with applesauce is so disgusting. And I have to do that because I can't swallow pills. So y'all knew that I was not about to be on no diabetic medicine or anything of that nature. So instead, I decided to make some changes for myself. That's what I decided to do. And here's some of the progress, right? Like baby steps though. And that's what I was going to say. One of the things about progress, brother, I was going to say this. I started off at 221.4 and no, I didn't lose those 70 pounds overnight. I didn't lose those pounds in 6 months. It took me a year or so to lose that weight. And I thank God that I lost it at that slow rate because I've been able to maintain it to this point. There's so many people that have these YouTube videos about, I lost 50 pounds in 6 months. And I congratulate them. That's great. And I try to figure out how they did it, but I'm glad I did it slow and steady. I went on YouTube University, pretty much. That's what YouTube is. It's a whole university. And I went on there and I did baby steps to figure out how can I lose this weight? What can I do to sustain this on a long period of time? And I watched people like Bricks Fitness, who's my actual coach. He was extremely overweight, lost 160 pounds, and that's who I actually hired as my online coach. If y'all haven't heard of him, Bricks Fitness, he has YouTube videos all over these YouTube streets, and he's helped me realize that I could do it safely. Like Aunt Tracy was saying, I could do it safely, and I appreciate it. Every pound, I was like, okay, great. And it wasn't just like a linear line. It wasn't like a linear line, a diagonal line. It was like points of time where it go down and it go up, go down, go up, go down. It was just up and down. But I had to appreciate that because I'm like, dang, the scale's going up 1 second, then it's going down. But look, slow and steady wins the race. And that's why I'm able to maintain it right now. I know a lot of people have gained weight. I've even gained weight myself. Like I got down to 151 at one point, but I gained weight back. And I'm going to tell you the reason why I did that in just a bit. You have to definitely, I agree with you, brother. You definitely have to learn what works for your body. See, that's the thing. Everybody wants to put on their vision boards that they have, which whatever. Jermaine on his channel, that Christian Fam channel, talked about these vision boards anyway. But what y'all do is y'all put on these vision boards about how you want to look like this particular person, knowing that your genetics will not allow for you to look like that. So that means you're automatically setting yourself up for failure by putting this woman's body or this man's body on a vision board and saying, I want to look like that. You never will. And that's when you create this body dysmorphia. That's when you are able to say, my body's not going to look like that. So you're always trying to get towards perfection, which never exists. It doesn't exist, y'all. Yes, it never exists. So back to this picture. Literally the shirt on the right was like, dang, because that's what I look like, dang. I was going through it. I was going through a lot trying to figure out what to do, when to do it, if this is going to work out. I didn't know what the end goal was going to look like, but I just kept with it. And on the left picture, the shirt says ex-fat girl. I'm thankful that the shirt says ex-fat girl because I wore the shirt before I became an ex-fat girl. Shout out to Bricks Fitness for that shirt. But I wore that shirt prior to me getting out of the fat girl zone because I wanted to see it before I could be it. That's sometimes what we have to do. Forget putting somebody else's body on a vision board on your phone and trying to live up to those unrealistic standards. Instead, Why not just get a shirt like I did? Ex-fat girl, telling me what I am. I'm affirming it. I'm an ex-fat girl. Whether I was or not, I still felt like it. And that's why you saw more of a smile than you did on these previous pictures of mine, right? Because at that point in time, it made me think that, okay, I'll get there one day. Looks like your determination and patience work well. Amen to that. He's back in the swing. Okay, he's back in the swing of exercise and eating right. I'm reading y'all comments in the chat, but definitely shout out to y'all for that. But seriously, I had to see it to believe it. And that's what I did. Okay. Let me get back to basically talking a little bit more about my journey. Okay. So I got down to where I'm at now, which is around 167 or so. I'm at this point in my life where I'm happy because I'm not looking for a particular number. I'm looking for body fat percentage, but I'm thankful because I sometimes have body dysmorphia. And let me tell you what this is. It's basically where you lose all this weight, but you still think you look the same size that you were when you first got started. And for me, I have to remember that I've come so far because think about this. When you set a goal, let's say you set a goal to make $10,000 a month. Once you reach that goal of making $10,000 a month, then you want to set another goal because you're not satisfied with that $10,000 a month anymore. So then you set another goal for $20,000 a month. Same thing for me when it came to weight loss. I lost the 60 to 70 pounds, right? I lost the 70 pounds. And then once I get to that goal, you sometimes don't be satisfied. And now you try to tweak this, tweak that. And I think we are just people over time, at least I am, somebody who just thinks that I always have to continue with progress. And I just really need to learn to appreciate the now because I've come so far. And people are like, amazing transformation. Then I'd be like, I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. But I got to be thankful that the Lord brought me through this far. Okay, away from gluttony, away from the fact that I didn't really realize that I didn't truly love my body like I said I did. Obviously, it shows because what we put in our body is supposed to be for the glory of God, but it's baby steps. It's baby steps. Yes, Bricks Fitness. Shout out to my coach, Bricks Fitness. He is very encouraging. Yes. So check him out. And thank you, Menelik. I appreciate you as always. Thank you. See, focus on body fat, not the weight. When you first get started and you're extremely overweight, maybe you are in the obese category, I would say focus on the weight, getting that weight down and just creating habit, okay? Because we have consistently been doing the wrong things for a long time. But let's consistently do the right things and then see that those new habits are going to replace the old habits. That's all it takes. But there is such thing as skinny fat. Yes, it is. It's as dangerous as being obese because just because you're skinny doesn't mean you're healthy as well. And you can be skinny and be a glutton as well. So just realize that that is one of the deadly sins. And shout out to my bro, Daryl King, for being here as well. Salute to you. Yes, the regiment determination paid off full. Thank you so much. He said, you don't look the same. You've done immensely well, Chelsea. Slow and steady, man. Oh, yes, it does. Oh, wow, Christina, what? She said, I lost 105 pounds. Hold up now. That is what's up. Yes, pick back up 25 in 2020. The struggle is the struggle is real, okay? And Jesus had to take the wheel for me, too, in 2020. And thank you, big sis, as well, Latanya. I appreciate you. But I want to say, you picked up 25, I picked up about 20. And that's when I actually got my first gym membership because I had free gym memberships through my job as well as through my school. But once 2020 happened, I was out of a job at the time and I was out of school because I graduated. So that's when I got me a gym membership at the time. And that's when I really started my weight loss journey because that's the first time I ever had a gym membership outside of my school and my job. And who didn't gain weight though? Who didn't gain weight in 2020? Shout out to you if that is you. But for me and my household, we picked up weight. That's just what it is. The struggle is weird. Struggle is real. But see, look, you lost 105, but you only picked up 25, right? Okay, so that's that. You didn't pick up the whole 105 again. And some people do that when they lose it for the wrong reasons. That's what can happen. Jermaine, thank you for this information on the study as well, brother. He said the study says blacks and Latinos are healthier being 10 to 15 pounds heavier than their white counterparts. However, most of us go extremely past that into morbid obesity, which is killing us. Yes. Latanya was like, I gained weight. Hey, be real. Okay, tell the truth. Shame the devil. Who didn't? I just want to know. Okay. Let's think for a second. So now that I talked about old Chelsea a little bit, I'm going to have some future episodes on my nutrition strategies, what I did my first go round, what I did my second go round, my third, my fourth, because I've been through it, ups and downs, up and down, but I'm maintaining. And I have a coach now to really help me get that goal because I did it the first 3 years by myself. Then I had a trainer. So that's why I'm just tell you my journey real quick. I had a trainer. I started in 2017. Then in 2020, I got me a trainer. Shout out to James Jones. Shout out to him because he has an actual fitness site. He has an actual gym. He's a personal trainer. James Jones, if I could talk today, has his own gym, and he's called the Goat Locker, right? It's located in Redford. His gym allowed for me to be able to really hone in on hard workouts, intense workouts. He pushed me past my limit for sure. He allowed me to like things that I didn't think I would like almond butter. I used to put regular butter on my toast till he introduced me to almond butter, for example. And then that's something that I started liking that I didn't realize I like. I literally had toasted almond butter today. Other days I have oatmeal and, things of that nature. So I'll get into all that nutrition later, but I just wanted to give you a timeline. I had my trainer, James. And I want to tell you, ladies and gents as well, is that when you're in a relationship with somebody, please, I repeat, please make sure you have somebody who is not so insecure that they're going to keep you from your trainer, keep you from improving yourself. Please, I pray to you, because if somebody really loves you, they're going to make sure that they're going to help you get to your best self. They're not going to prevent you. They're not going to stop you from getting on your grind to becoming a better version of you. That's what I want to let y'all know. That's a red flag to me. Oh, if you love me, you will leave this trainer. You would get me as your trainer when you're not even certified. Just certain things like that some people have to deal with. So I'm just telling y'all because I'm telling y'all, okay? I'm just letting y'all know. So you don't want a person like that. You don't want a significant other that stops you from getting a trainer, stops you from going to the gym. Seriously, like tells you that literally you can't go to the gym anymore. You don't want that. You want somebody who loves you enough to say, hey, I'll get in the gym with you and work out with you. I actually, you motivate me. So I want to get into the gym. I want to get me a trainer so I can get like you as well to fix my body up. Because for me in relationships, I always lose weight. I know a lot of people say that they stress eat and they usually gain weight. For me, myself, and I, whenever I'm in a relationship, I usually lose weight. That's just how it is for me. I just know what works for me. So when I'm in a relationship, I lose weight. But outside of relationships, I always stay, maintain, I lose. I'm in the gym right now 6 times a week. So that's just what I do. Regardless of if I have a man or not, I'm still going to be in the gym improving myself for me, because I don't want somebody else to be an external factor for why I'm losing weight. I'm not losing weight for a particular individual, because as we know, people do gain weight over time. We know that after you have children, specifically women, we gain weight over time. And I understand that. And for anybody, any women who are struggling with weight loss and they have a certain condition, an illness that prevents them from losing weight, then definitely I understand that these solutions aren't going to apply to you, because everybody's weight loss journey is different. But what we don't need to do is blame. We don't need to blame. And that's what I was watching this clip from one of Oprah Winfrey's episodes, some type of conversation Black women were having about weight loss. And I was kind of baffled at some of the things this one woman was saying. So I want y'all to take a listen to what she had to say.
I actually want us to hold up a little bit before we do this thing where we start blaming ourselves. Like, I hate when people talk about Black women being obese. I hate it. Because it becomes a way to blame us for a set of conditions that we didn't create. We're moving, we're taking care of kids, but our food quality suffers. We are living in the Trump era. And look, those policies kill our people. You can't get access to good health care, good insurance.
I know this lady did not just blame Trump for her weight loss. Trump did not tell you to go pick up a cheeseburger, lady. He did not tell you to do that. Why are you blaming politicians for your issues? You blaming the politicians instead of blaming your practices. It's blasphemy, sis. It's not making sense. Let me say this. You are talking about, and I had to cough on this one. Hold on one second, y'all. You are saying that since we're in the Trump era, they are messing us. We're at the time they were during this video. You're in the Trump era, so you're saying that this man is preventing you from getting quality food. But the same women that are talking about how Trump has messed them up when it comes to their quality of food have gone out to the local beauty supply to make sure they beautified up on the outside. They'll go flip a bag or spend a bag at the beauty supply, but they claim that they don't have enough resources to buy quality food. But you buying the best 9mm eyelashes that you can buy. You're buying the best hair extensions that you can buy, best wigs, best weaves, all that you can buy, because hair is expensive. All that's expensive, but you would rather beautify yourself on the outside instead of worrying about your body as well, because that's a part of the outside too. That's one of the first things people see. They see your face, they see your body. So you worry about the outside looking good for us beautifying yourself, but you're not beautifying your body naturally. Because I heard about 2 mothers, rest in peace to these ladies, but I heard about 2 mothers that went over to the Dominican Republic, and they died getting BBLs. Do y'all know that BBLs are adding fat to your body, right? Because when we think about a woman's shape, a woman carries a lot of body fat because it's usually in those areas where the curves are. These women went out to the Dominican Republic and they bought BBLs and they died on the tables because of infections. Stop blaming the white man. This is a public service announcement for 2023. Stop blaming the white man for your weight problems. He has nothing to do with that. He has nothing to do with that. So please stop blaming them. That's like, for example, that's like me talking about, because my ancestors had to run away from massa, I don't feel like running on that treadmill because it reminds me of when my ancestors had to run away from massa. I'm not going to do my jump rope because every time I hear that jump rope hit the ground, it reminds me of how massa used to whoop my ancestors, y'all. So for that reason, you won't catch me with a gym membership. Or let me say this, because I don't want my hair sweated out, you won't catch me at the gym. White folks didn't give us good enough hair, so I can't be out here working out at this gym because I'm going to mess up my hair that I got, y'all. Let me tell you some solutions. Get you a wig. Slap that wig on and go to the gym. Get you some braids and go to the gym. Do a twist out and go to the gym. You can also buy a gym wrap around your hair, to wrap around your hair, by Nicole R.E. Parker. She has a product called Gym Wrap that you can wear and be able to not have to worry about your edges sweating. So what's the excuse now, sis? I got time today. So that's what I would love to know. What's the excuse that you're going to use now instead of blaming the white man? Because I'm not blaming them, because I can say that racism caused me to be obese. But I can also say racism caused me to be where I'm at right now, in a good shape. Okay? Seriously. Make it make sense, people. I don't care who she blames, but stop blaming people. She said, oh, I just dislike when people want to talk about women being obese. But I'd rather have it be coming from another woman than to be coming from a man, because y'all don't want to hear it from a man, right? So you should appreciate when a woman comes to you and tells you that you are obese. Let's hear what this lady had to say in response to that lady blaming everybody but herself.
But I think it's also really important for us to know that we have the power to choose how we see ourselves.
Sure.
We will be fortified to fight all of these other external issues when we pour into ourselves enough to say, I love me, I am not the conditions that surround me, I am not my experience, I am more than the circumstances that I have gone through.
Thank you, Tina. Sounds like somebody with some sense, because you can never blame everybody else for the decisions that you make. And if you keep blaming everybody else for the decisions, then that means you need to go seek some therapy. And shout out to Big Sis Latanya, said, I just got my 4.5 miles of walking in, girl. Go on ahead. She said 78 degrees in the DFW. Shout out to you. Because there definitely ain't no 78 degrees over here in the DTW. So shout out to you for that warm weather and for taking advantage of it, though. I saw that. I saw Jermaine had posted it was like 81 degrees there earlier point of the day. So shout out to y'all for that beautiful weather. I definitely got to check DFW out soon. And Menelik, thank you so much. He said, you look phenomenal. Exercise does the body good, not milk. I love my almond milk over here anyway, okay? And shout out to Mona, too. I want to give a shout out to you. She said, me and you have similar stories. When I was 18 or 19, I got well. I can't even talk today. See, this is how it be sometimes. You can read when you're not on the screen, but once you get on the screen, it'd be hard to read. Let me dissect this and let me take my time, because I'd be excited for these topics when y'all be in this chat so lit. Mona said, when I was 18 or 19, I had got to well over 200 pounds. Then I said, oh, no. Okay, sis, let me lose this weight. Then I dropped 60 pounds and developed body dysmorphia. That was a struggle, but let me still give you a shout out for losing them 60 pounds. Yes, girl. Do it. Do it. And I see y'all in these comments lit, okay? Y'all are real lit today. Yeah, see somebody got up to 83. Wow. Yes, come on, Latanya, with it. And shout out to Aunt Tracy. She said, I had vegan greens today. Yes, okay. Yummy kale, turnip, collards and spinach. Get it. Get them greens in, because greens are good for y'all, okay? Get them green vegetables in, y'all. He said, no beef at all for you. Let that go 10 years ago. See, salute to you. Salute to you. And those 60s in St. Louis. Yeah, that's where Ron Isley at. Shout out to St. Louis. You know, I be keeping up with that St. Louis action. I'm playing, but he said, I need that Louisiana weather in the winter. Yes, sis, you're very welcome. All right, let's continue this conversation, because we heard the excuses. Even the lady, the same lady with the other excuse, blaming the white man about everything, she also said that women, when we go on the same diets, black women, when we go on the same diets as everybody else, we lose it at a slower rate. But now that you know that, realize that, appreciate that you know that we lose at a slower rate, that means that it's not impossible. You didn't say that it was impossible. You just said we lose at a slower rate. Knowing that means that you're going to have to be patient. Everybody like quick fixes. I know there are some people who do go the surgery route, especially if you are morbidly obese and you feel like that's the best route depending on your age, then do that. There's nothing wrong with getting surgery. I definitely know people who have gotten surgery before, and they will be hopefully coming on a future episode to talk about their journey with surgeries and talk about if they will even do that again or would they go another route. Because I did the natural journey. That's for those who don't know as well. I did this all natural, y'all. My pants was all flopping on me. Clothes was all big on me when I was going to work and whatnot. And let me tell you, the same, well, I won't say the same people, but a lot of people who wouldn't hold the door for me because I was overweight, now they open the doors for you when you get in shape. So pay attention to that. Pay attention to that. Back then they didn't want me. Now I'm hot. They all on me. Mike Jones. Who? Mike Jones. Seriously though. Back then they didn't want me. Now I'm hot. They all on me. That's the motto for those who lose weight. That's why I appreciate being able to see what a fat girl has to go through, because I've been there. I've been there, and now I see what the benefits that you can reap when you are somebody of shape. You have more options, sis. Let me tell you, you have more options. The same ones that weren't talking to you in high school when you were overweight are the same ones that will be sending you heart eyes over pictures in your story. That's some of the perks. But other perks is that you actually get to live longer, because you realize that you ain't got no high blood pressure. You don't have no irregular levels or anything. Your cycles are flowing on time. All the benefits that come with it. And people are so phony. And shout out to Bobby Wright for subscribing to me on the other account, because I did have 666 subscribers. So make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, because y'all don't need to be shacking up in here on Chelsea's Live Line. I got room for everybody. So hit that share button. No, I'm talking about hit that share if you want to. Hit the like button, subscribe, hit that subscribe button, because I want you a part of the community, because you can hear videos and see videos like this every Wednesday, y'all, at 8 p.m. EST. Yes, sis, yes. Okay, that was the sub count. I said, no, he will not win, okay? No, he would not win. And thank you so much, Successful Melanated Dusty, for being here. I appreciate you for dropping in. And Christina said, it took me 2 years. It took me about the same, sis. And then COVID happened. Then I gained about 20 pounds. And then I got me a trainer, got that off of me. And now I got different goals for myself. Because you have to realize that when you first get started, your goal is just to lose weight. Then eventually your goal is to tone up. And then there's other goals here and there, right? Let's talk about these songs and these movies promoting obesity. Can y'all think about any songs or movies that promote obesity? Because I got a few examples that I want to share with y'all today. Think about that song by Anthony Hamilton. Sister Big Bones, can a brother walk you home? Hey, what'd he say? Hold on, let me play it for y'all. Hold on. Look like a fat neck bone. He said, look like a plate of neck bones. I like to keep your body warm. Yes, he was over here dancing with Monique, okay? They was having the time of their life in this video. All the women, all the heavier set women, this was like the anthem, okay? Like you walking in the club, you hear that Sister Big Bones, like, hey, that's me. Like this was really the empowerment anthem for overweight women. Y'all know what I'm talking about, for real. Oh yeah, watch out for the big girl. Watch out for the big girl. And Lizzo, I haven't heard her lyrics, but I guess she do got some tracks that's talking about heavier women. I don't really listen to Lizzo because she turned me off. I like that she's definitely talented when it comes to the flute, but all the stuff she got out here that she's promoting externally from her music is a turnoff for me. I don't know about anybody else. But see, that Sister Big Bone, can a brother walk you home? Look like a plate of neck bones. I like to keep your body warm. That's what he said. That's Anthony Hamilton with the Sister Big Bone, okay? That what he said. At that size, that would have been insulting to me. Oh, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, I never, like, attracted, those songs didn't attract me once I was like, oh, this is my anthem, or anything like that. Especially Watch Out for the Big Girl. Come on. That's horrible. But think about other movies, other shows. For example, The Parkers, right? I know y'all remember the Parkers, Monique show that she had with Professor Ogilvy, and her name was Nikki in the show, and she loved Professor Ogilvy, okay? She loved everything about this man. I don't know why, but she loved this man so much, and he didn't really want to be bothered with her until the end, like the last season, where eventually he gets married to her because he finds out that there's somebody who's actually interested in getting married to her. He sees her worth after she don't chase this man down. And I think it really allowed bigger women to think that they had options because of this, but also it made bigger women think that it made us look at bigger women like, dang, she chasing this man down. Like, come on. She was thirsty. That's exactly right. She was extremely thirsty. Shout out to you, Hustler and Muscular. She was thirsty for him to chase this man down while he was chasing everything else. And what you have to think about, my mom tells me all the time, I think Julia Roberts said this in one of her movies, is that, look, if you chasing him and he chasing somebody else, then who's chasing you? You got to look at that, because it's supposed to be, a circle. But you keep following this man, but nobody's chasing after you. So you really look stupid. Because you ain't got to look behind you, because nobody's looking for you. Nobody's checking for you. And I just think it's so disrespectful to women to really settle, especially because you're heavy. Okay? Like, Monique at that time was really promoting that body positivity before it got coined body positivity. Okay? She really did. Look, not just in that photo, but I'm going to be quiet, though. Yes, see, though? Look at that. Yes, she is. Monique stopped doing that body positivity stuff. Y'all see Monique now. Monique is doing her thing. She is doing her thing. Shout out to Red Edge, because she flipped the script on y'all, the bigger women. She flipped the script. And I appreciate that, because she realized that she would have had some health problems if she didn't. And think about the Nutty Professor on the flip side for a man, right? He had so many more options when he lost the weight, right? He became so rude. And then let's think about, the Parkers. So Monique lost that weight. But also I think about another show, and I want to show y'all a movie. Have y'all ever seen this movie called Fat Girls? This was a movie Monique made where she ends up getting like this royal prince from another country. And like the girl who was her sister, I believe, was wondering like, how'd she get this guy with her being fat? And that just proved that, I guess, fat women, hey, they can get men too. And that's what it showed at that time. But you had to make that movie called Fat Girls. And I even think about, what's the other movie with Eddie Murphy? Norbit, right? And how they were basically bullying Norbit because he was going with a heavier set woman, Verspucia. Yep, exactly. This was body positivity before body positivity was a thing. And that's what Aunt Tracy was saying. But at the same time, you have to be able to celebrate yourself at the stage of where you are. Exactly. Definitely. I agree with that, because we wait till the end, but appreciate the skin that you in as well. Yep. So that was Fat Girls. That was a good movie, though. I enjoyed it. And let's talk about another movie. Y'all. Precious. I think that was the name of the movie, but I do know her name was Precious, right? I think the movie was called Precious as well, but Monique was in that too. Dang. Monique was in this movie as well. And it's sad that Gabby, who is the actress in this movie, is only known for this movie. I don't know if she got any other major roles. Except for Precious. Y'all let me know, but let me tell you, Gabby may be overweight, but Gabby lost some weight, and now she has a husband. Right? So there's options for everybody. She lost weight. She did lose some weight, and she got her a husband. But to me, I'm not trying to be funny or nothing, but I'm going to just say, sus. It was scary for heavier women. What's scary for heavy women, it could be scary for skinny women as well. But I'm going to say what's scary for heavier women is that a lot of times these men will hide behind heavier women. And when I say these men, I mean sus men. They will hide behind these women. Oh yeah, she was in Empire. Okay, see, I never watched Empire. Thank you so much for being here. Let It Make Sense podcast. Thank you. Yep. They hide behind these women, because to me, he looks very sus. He does not look masculine to me. And that movie is depressing, okay? Like all that abuse. Goodness gracious. And she got other roles on TV, all that money, still didn't get a trainer. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a possibility. It's a possibility that you could use that money for something better. Right? And I know she got bullied a lot. And see, that's what the worst thing in the world. Think about Kelly Price. Kelly Price being a singer, she was overweight, and she still is overweight per se, but she did lose a lot of weight because they were pressuring her. Diddy, I think, called her fat, or somebody called her fat. I think it was Diddy. And look how the roles have reversed. Diddy, you getting a little plump yourself, but she did lose some weight. Kelly Price did, and now, she's out there, but she probably a lot of people. Their weight has prevented them, unfortunately, in Hollywood. That weight has prevented them from getting a lot of opportunities. Okay? Like, tell me if I'm over here imagining something, but to me, I just think that she leveled down. She settled. And the only settling that I will ever do is settling down. That's what I'm saying. Like, just because you're heavy set doesn't mean you have to settle. Yes. Tracy says, celebrating yourself allows you to see the best of who you are and allows you to see the next and best of what's to become. Amen. Grace's Greatness says there's an African show called Skinny Girl in Transit. It has a similar perspective of a lady saying men only preferring the slimmer, more fair skinned younger sister. Think about that. I wonder if black women stop rocking with Adele after she lost all that weight. I never seen Adele spell like that, but I'll rock with it. You said, but I don't think they stopped rocking with her after she lost the weight, because that would be crazy. Adele is talented. I don't understand if women would really stop rocking with her because she lost the weight. But I said Kelly Price lost the weight, Monique lost the weight, and I know she lost a lot of her people because Monique was really the spokesperson for heavier women. Literally, she went on a comedy tour really promoting that, she's not going to let her weight get to her. But she did lose that weight when she realized that it came with better opportunities, not just for Hollywood, but for her health. So Gabby can get a husband, so that means other heavier women can do it as well. But what I say is that if you don't have any kids, if you don't have any health issues that are preventing you from weight loss, from being at a healthy weight, then what you waiting on? What you waiting on? That's funny, but what you waiting on for real? And Jennifer Hudson lost a lot of weight too. And sometimes they be saying when you lose weight, sometimes you lose your voice. Your voice don't be sounding as good as it used to. Because it was like Jennifer Hudson, skinny Luther, big Luther. 2 different voice types. Or they'll say like Jennifer Hudson, when she was in Dreamgirls, she could sing. And then now they're saying maybe she can't sing as good because the vocals ain't hitting the same. But it is what it is. Health over wealth. Right? Because health is wealth at the end of the day. Yep, health is wealth. So let me get into a little bit more. Y'all, I appreciate y'all for being here. Hit that like button. Share if you want to be able to help somebody out who is going through something with their weight and maybe they want to make some changes. It's not too late. It's the beginning of the year. And even if it wasn't, it still wouldn't be too late. Okay. But I want to talk next about a couple more things. All right. Let's talk about it. Okay. So we talked about Precious. And the problem is that we know the what, but we need to figure out the why. We know that we are emotional eaters. Some of us may be. We know that, I eat a lot when I'm sad. I eat a lot when I'm happy. I eat a lot when I'm angry. We know that, but we need to figure out why. I'm all big on the logic. I'm big on the psychology to figure out why do we do this? Why are we obese? Can somebody answer that question for me? And I think it's a case-by-case basis. I think it's because everybody talking about stuff runs in the family, but ain't nobody running in the family. I think it's because we just want to make excuses instead of, actual results. So we got to stop blaming racism. I told you, mass ain't got nothing to do with you picking up that cheeseburger. Mass ain't got nothing to do with you. Mass ain't got nothing to do with you eating that Philly cheesesteak. Okay? Or that ice cream. Let me say my guilty pleasures: Oreo cookies, cheesecakes, all types of cookies, pretty much. Peanut butter, oatmeal raisin, chocolate chip, snickerdoodle, whatever. That's for me. Or my ice cream. Haagen-Dazs only, please. Or some Superman. That's what I like. So I'm not going to blame nobody else because I like those things. Just saying. Okay? Or I like me some peach cobbler. Shout out to Granny. She made a peach cobbler a couple days ago. I've been eating on that slowly but surely. But the rest of my food is good, so I can do that in moderation. That peach cobbler was lit. And I'm not going to stop eating it. Until, when it's gone, it's gone. But I'm saying I'm still eating my peach cobbler and I'm not going to feel guilty about it. That's what I'm saying. Moderation, y'all. So that's why you don't just stop, go cold turkey on the things that you like. Instead, you make those modifications here and there. Ain't nobody about to get rid of no peach cobbler. But let me tell you, it can be a drug, because you hear me. I'm over here like, ain't nobody about to get rid of this peach cobbler. But food can be a drug, for real. It can be. Just like we think about AA, Alcoholics Anonymous. That's a 12-step program for those who consider themselves alcoholics. But they have to go there. They have to realize nobody can force you to go to AA. You need to decide to do that on your own. There's GA, Gamblers Anonymous. Yes, because some of the poorest of us gamble the most. when it should be the backwards if somebody's going to gamble, which you shouldn't, but to each his own. Narcotics Anonymous, NA, for those who have been on drugs. I know people who have participated in Narcotics Anonymous, right? They go through that 12-step program, and then they get to celebrate years later that they have been out of that program for X amount of years. And they have high success rates with that, right? And we wonder, what are they doing behind the scenes to make sure these people do not relapse? They actually have Obesity Anonymous. This just came up. I was doing some research today. Obesity Anonymous. I really think that people who are on 600-pound life need to enroll into Obesity Anonymous, because I get so tired of when, like, Dr. Now, y'all know Dr. Now, who does the surgeries for people, and he does the surgeries for them. And what's sad is this: he does the surgeries on their bodies, but does no surgery on their mind, their mindset, because you can get all the surgery you want. You can close up some of your stomach all you want, cut it in half, cut it in this shape, cut it in that shape. But if you don't change that mind to the shape that you desire, that mindset, then it ain't gonna matter that you got that surgery, because you can literally get out that surgery room and do the same things you were doing before you got the surgery. But you can sometimes kill yourself that way. People have died that way if they don't follow the regimen that the surgeon has provided them to sustain that weight loss. So there is Obesity Anonymous, because food is an addiction. Seriously, it is. And there's also Food Addicts Anonymous, FAA. That's just something people need to become aware of. I did not know this stuff until today, so I'm just learning as it goes along. But it was a mindset shift for me. When my doctor told me that, she said, you're about to be pre-diabetic, you're on your way to diabetes, I said, no, that won't be me. No, ma'am. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. It won't be me. It won't be me, because, again, I don't like medicine. Again, because I see what runs, what runs in the family. I see what others in my family have had because of their poor eating habits, and I don't want that to be me. It's no offense, but I just want better for not just me, but for my future children. Because I was reading in Dre's book. Dre has a book out, and Dre, if you want to put the link to your book, please do that. From a fatherless father to his sons. In his book, there is a stat that says, if you want to know what kind of weight your child is going to be when they grow older, what are they going to look like weight-wise? Look at their father. It's a high percentage of children that take after the weight of their father. And even though I'm not a father, I still want to be an example for my kids, so that they can see that, oh, mommy's fit, mommy likes to eat right, so let me follow that as well. My children are going to be eating on small plates when they first get started eating, because they got to build the foundation and build those small habits. They'll get their little McDonald's or whatever things they may get, whatever. But they're still going to know what quinoa, they're going to know, even though I don't know what quinoa tastes like, I ain't even going to play you, but they're going to know what collard greens taste like. They're going to know what the gourmet foods taste like that are healthy for their body, okay? They're going to have a variety, but pay attention. That's why I say it's so important for me and myself and I've been in a relationship before where I've had somebody who knew that I was on a weight loss journey, and then I ended up losing weight. I was on my weight loss journey with my trainer. They didn't appreciate that. They stopped me from going to the gym. In addition to that, it was like, you better stop going to the gym. And if, whatever, you better stop going to the gym. So that was abuse there, but never again. I'll tell you that. I'm telling you because I want you to learn that that's not acceptable. That's not normal. And you shouldn't appreciate it. You should normalize it as well. So first things first, make sure that you have somebody who appreciates your dream, appreciates your goal that you're trying to reach, and will help you. They're not going to be eating cheeseburgers right in front of you when they know that you're trying to lose weight. And they're not going to feed you with a bunch of fast food when they know you have a goal. Because I ended up picking up 15 pounds at the end of last year, all because I was eating those foods with that person. Eating those foods, getting big, and just becoming addicted to Wendy's. I did. I became addicted to Wendy's, y'all. I was getting Wendy's for breakfast, for lunch, and pretty much for dinner too. Like, literally. When you downloaded the Wendy's app, that's when you know it's bad. I was downloading the Wendy's app and like, oh yeah, I got my coupon here, got my coupon there, all because I built up that habit. You can easily build up a habit, but it can take a lifetime to lose the habit unless you do some measures to do it. That's why I say it's so important to make sure, like for me, myself, and I have to have a partner who is active. There's no way I'm going to be with somebody who's going to get me off my goals again. Never again, because it's very taxing. Every time I go work out, I'm like, dang, I got to eat right, because there's no way that these workouts are so hard that I'm not going to eat right afterwards. Otherwise, I'm doing myself a disservice. I'm hustling backwards, right? I would never do that again. That's why I want somebody who's healthier for me. I pray for that every day. When I pray for my future husband, I pray for the fact that he lives a healthy lifestyle. He lives a healthy lifestyle, and he actually cares enough about his body to be able to exercise, to be able to eat the right foods, because I want him to motivate me. He is the leader. He is ahead of me. Therefore, I want to make sure he can motivate me to keep those goals going. I can't be a one-woman show. I can't. That's why I would recommend anybody the same thing. Don't settle for somebody who doesn't have the same habits for you, the same lifestyles. If you're vegan, don't go with somebody who's a pescatarian. Don't do that unless you really want to. But I wouldn't do it because I think it's difficult trying to mess those lifestyles up. That's not equally yoked. That's equally joked, in my opinion. So don't set yourself up for failure. He said, quinoa tastes like grits. Okay. She said, it don't taste like grits to me. Ah, Lord. Yes. Get that book on Amazon, From a Fatherless Father to His Sons. I've read it already, and it's got some great stats because we got to follow the data in order for us to not be a disservice to our children and our children's children. And you know I love that Southern food as well. He said, but the pounds can be added, okay? Dang, shout out to you, Kay. I'm sorry to hear that. You said your coworker died from the surgery. My manager almost died after the surgery. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. The heart can't take all that weight, and sugar addiction is real. That good peach cobbler can be dangerous, okay? Ooh. I was like, where's the ice cream at? Because I really do be wanting some of that sometimes. But we didn't have ice cream, so I ate it without. But I just ate it slow and steady, and I appreciated it. But yeah, ain't nobody eating no chitlins. Like, don't do that stuff because you're going to have parasites all in you. Don't do it. Wendy's have their own podcast now. This is the stuff I'm talking about. Oh, goodness. But on a serious note, let me say this. Women, we don't want to hear from a man. We don't want to hear from a man saying that, oh, you need to lose weight. But what if you hear from your child? What would you do if you heard from your child that, hey, you need to lose a little weight because maybe you're getting a little fat?
You want a light-skinned girlfriend or you want a black or you want a chocolate girlfriend like you?
Oh yeah, I want some chocolate girlfriend. A sexy chocolate girlfriend.
You want her to be skinny or you want her to be thick or you want her to be fat or you want,
No, I want a skinny.
So you want her skinny?
Yeah, a skinny girlfriend.
What do you consider mommy? Do you consider mommy? What is mommy?
Look at his face. Uh-oh. You already know what's about to happen. You know she ain't skinny.
Am I skinny?
Mama, you pretty.
Sit back. You ain't gotta go over there and hug me and tell me that. I know you said I'm pretty, but what do you consider me to be? Am I skinny? Am I fat? What do you consider me?
You are getting fat, but I love you. I'm just saying you are getting a little fat.
Okay, so you don't want a girl my size?
No!
What?
I'm just saying.
I love you. I'm just saying
No,
you
baby.
getting a little big or something. You getting like fat. You getting big like that. Yeah.
I would like to thank this young man for being honest with his mom.
He said, I would like to thank this young man for being honest with his mom. See, you really setting your son up for failure, but if you want to hear the truth, better ask your kids. Ask your young kids. And he said, I love you, but you're getting a little fat. And see, this little boy already has his preferences. He said he wants a skinny chocolate girlfriend. That's what he said he wants. He is so cute. Such a handsome little boy. But for real, he's telling his mom the truth. And lady, what you going to do with that information? You asked him, you cornered the little boy. What are you going to do with that information once you get the answer? Because children are honest. And see, I would rather hear that than not hear that at all and thinking that I am something I'm not, because that false reality. What I don't like is when we put filters on our bodies. Let me tell you what I mean by that. Think about makeup. And I know how a lot of Christian men don't like this makeup. And I'm beginning to understand why y'all don't now. I've been seeing a lot of instances of caked up makeup and things of that nature. So I understand now why y'all don't like the makeup. I really think I do. But on a separate note, just like makeup is to a face, shapewear is to a body. I think that filters on a face, on Instagram, on Snapchat, Twitter, wherever filters are at, there's women who there are women who pay for filter apps to make sure they get rid of certain blemishes on their face when they're about to post that picture up there. Therefore, men are getting finessed and don't even realize it when this woman looks totally different. Makeup can have this woman looking like a totally different person. And that's when you know it's gone too far. For example, I can see certain reality TV show stars on the reality TV show themselves with all this makeup on. And then when I see them on their Instagram page with no makeup on, I'm like, dang, they look different. That's what you don't want to hear. Everything in moderation. But I'm talking about the makeup on a separate day. But I just want to say, think about that. Makeup to a face, filters to a face is like the shapewear to a body. Men, do y'all want y'all women coming up, like walking to you like, how you doing? Because I can't breathe because I got all this shapewear on. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you really want your woman coming up to you with all this shapewear on and got all these rolls? Like, she inhaling, she can't exhale, because if she do all that stuff, gonna go blue, like a deflatable. Like, it's gonna go from inflated to deflated real quick, because she got all this stuff that's holding her in. Every roll is tucked in. Like, you know, let it out. Breathe. Breathe. Then I wanna 2 into the 3. I'm just saying, we have to breathe, and that means don't be putting all these waist trainers on. Instead of putting a waist trainer on, put a mind trainer on. Train your mind, because we want to get waist trainers, but nobody want to train a mind though. You can train your waist all you want, but if you're eating the wrong foods, that waist is gonna really look like a disgrace. Dre said the Instagram YouTube model Nikki Dot looks different without her makeup. I think still pretty, but she's still pretty, but looks like a totally different person. Follow her and her ex-husband before they're divorced. I don't even know who that is. Nikki Dot. She already started off on the wrong foot for me. Talking about Nikki Dot. Girl, what? I would never disgrace myself by calling myself a name that people are using to discriminate against black women. They already see y'all as sex objects because y'all make yourselves look that way, and then you go name yourself Nikki Dot. He said, you know what, you know what to say. Make up the raps, body shaper things, lies. He said, why you following them dots? I know, that's what I'm saying. Them dots gotta go. Dot bop, out the way. Because leave the extra makeup to the Transformers. See, that's what I'm saying. All that stuff is needed for them. Don't need much for us natural women. I agree with that. And that's why I don't do all that. That's her actual last name. Well, excuse me. Dot. Oh, goodness. That's embarrassing. I mean, but anyway, seriously, think about that though. The shapewear. That's what I want to get into next, because just imagine if you met a woman and this is what she's doing when she come back home to you.
Stop the bad shapewear agony. Get the new shapewear shorts from Shaperment. The comfiest way to look gorgeous these holidays.
Do you see that? That don't make no sense. Ooh, that don't make no sense. The shapewear. The shapewear though, because that's a finesse to men. I think that would be a finesse. If that man sees you wearing that shapewear when he first meets you, like, oh, she got a nice shape, she's curvy, looking good, no rolls everywhere. And then you come out like, let's go, say y'all go back to each other's house, whatever happens like that. And then she going with this shapewear, pulling that stuff down like boop, 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 boop. All these rolls coming down one at a time. And see what the problem. He said, where can I get those? No, we going to the gym, sis. We going to the gym. We're not going. Look, if it ain't called shapewear gym, we're not doing it. Okay? Because let me tell you, they said the shapewear is to build positivity, to build that confidence. There's nothing wrong with shapewear, but let me tell you, it becomes a false reality when you wear it, let's say every day. You wear the shapewear every day. And then as soon as you take it off, you look in the mirror, it's like, dang, I need to really work on this. But then the next day you put the shapewear back on again because it's like a reset. So you're playing psychological mind games. He was like, I need that shapewear. Like, you playing those psychological mind games if you wear that stuff every day. So when you come back home at night, you're like, dang, my body look all out of whack. And just think about, for example, people who wear makeup all the time and then they take that stuff off and they look totally different, but they put it back on because I need it, right? It becomes an addiction at that point. That's what I don't want you to do. Maybe you can wear shapewear for a special event that you're going to, which is like once a month, because you want to be smooth with it. Okay? You want to be smooth with it. But to wear it every day and then not go to the gym, that's when I have a problem. Okay? That shapewear stuff at the gym, I know they be wrapped up like mummies. Wrapped up like mummies. To each his own. I never got into it, but if you want to do it, you think that helps, that's fine. But I just don't want y'all to be talking about, you got these herbal teas, you got all these different products that these influencers are celebrating and they're selling, talking about these products work only to get finesse because people aren't pairing that up with a healthy diet. That's what I'm saying. They get lazy with the shape ups, but they're not trying to shape up their own shape. That's what I don't like. There's a disconnect, and stop using this as your main source. Let me wear the shapewear every day instead of getting my body to the point where I can have a shape. Okay? So I'm not going to be like that with the shapewear. Yes, you shouldn't rely on it, but it definitely makes that formal wear look good. I'm not going to say I never wore it before. For real. I agree with that, sis. So that's the shapewear. But let me just tell you again, you should have partners that help you gain. Well, there's partners who help you gain weight. There's partners that help you lose weight. But what I want to talk about is episode that Seiko and Sharon Woods had done a while back. So they did this episode talking about how there's a particular post where a husband is venting about how his woman gained a lot of weight. I want y'all to read this post with me, and I'm going to tell y'all my perspective as a single, okay? Let's get into the post. This is from Relationship Rules. It was posted back on August 31st. It says, "My wife has gained so much weight. I've lost almost all attraction towards her. Let me start off and be clear. I love my wife. She's a great person, and she balances out my hardened nature with her kindness. However, I've lost pretty much all attraction towards her. When we first met, she was never a small gal, and that is completely okay. Let's remember that, y'all. She was never a small gal, and that is completely okay. But she has put on probably 200 pounds or so since we met, and about 140 to 150 of those pounds since we've been married, and it's only been 4.5 years. So just to break that down so far, she put on a total of 200 plus pounds, it sounds like. He said 200 plus, and she was already not a small gal, so let's keep that in mind as well. And 140 to 150 of those pounds were in the marriage. So she gained 60 pounds before they got married, but 140 to 150 pounds in addition, as they've been married for 4.5 years. Okay? Excuse me. He said, I stopped initiating intercourse gradually, and honestly, I didn't even notice it at first. Not until she broke down and started asking if I was cheating, because we hadn't been deeply intimate for 2 to 3 weeks. Then I was thinking, wow, she's right. So I started paying more attention, and I really just started noticing why. The come to Jesus moment was when I saw her getting out of the shower, and her stomach was flopped over her pelvic area, and her boobs were just resting on her extended stomach. I was just thinking, whoa, I have zero interest in my own wife's body. She knows she is overweight. We bought an exercise bike and got her on a Noom regimen, but she quit after maybe 3 weeks. I told her how I'm feeling and that it's having a direct effect on my physical attraction. That was an incredibly hard conversation to have. I'm just not a particularly emotional person, and we both cried during that convo. And for her to just quit casually makes me think she doesn't care about the relationship anymore. I've tried encouragement, but ultimately we've fallen back into the sexless marriage routine. She wants kids. Here we are. Okay, let me see where we at on this. Oh, yeah, she wants kids, and honestly, I can barely maintain an erection during sex, let alone an orgasm. I have to pretend I've ejaculated so she is content and doesn't have an emotional breakdown. I know that is a little bit of enabling, but it seems like that is something I could never tell her. Well, too late now, buddy. I'm starting to feel like I'm doomed to either be one of those stupid revenge weight loss divorce stories, or even worse. If we don't make it, she eats herself to death. But I no longer want children with a mother that can't even go on a hike or do the most mundane physical activities without making an excuse. A what's eating Gilbert grape isn't the life I want for my future kids. In a rare instance in my life, I have absolutely no idea what to do. Any ideas how to broach the subject matter or subject again with a more successful narrative? Note, my wife and me are of the same age, 29, and my looks are normal. I look fit. Y'all? Yes, you remember that? Very sad. Yes, I heard this story before. Ooh, that was heavy. Yep. That was very heavy. And I'm going to talk about it from a Christian perspective. I'm going to talk about it from a single perspective as well. Me being single, not being in a marriage, I'm going to break this down. In my opinion, right? Okay, first thing first, he said, my wife has gained so much weight, I've lost attraction. Oh, he should have, in my opinion, I really love the fact that he's bringing this to us instead of going out there cheating on his wife. He's bringing this to us, okay? He could have just said, I'm going to divorce you. You are a glutton. I'm leaving you, right? It's a lot to it. If she doesn't have any health issues, we got to figure out what's going on. But there has to be a health issue somewhere. The reason I say that is because there's no way that she is gaining weight at that rapid pace. Like, there's something mental. If it's not a health issue, like physical health issue, there's a mental issue. And I think she needs some therapy. That's the first thing, because you put her on a Noom regimen. You talking about, we bought an exercise bike. We put her on a Noom regimen, but she quit after maybe 3 weeks. I think the problem is that are you doing this with her? Because for me, I'm not going to be motivated if my man isn't doing this with me, especially if I didn't do it by myself prior to him recognizing it. That to me is a problem. It seems like you're forcing her, but if you're not working alongside her, even if you are fit, you can stand to get fitter. Okay, there's no such thing as perfect health, perfect looks, right? You can work on something as well. That means you should be doing that with her, because if you just telling her get on your bike, it's time to do it, then that means at this point she gonna be like, you over here treating me like a slave. I don't need to do nothing for you because you obviously loved me before. You said I was a small gal when you met me. I wasn't a small gal when you met me, so that means you obviously like this weight. And this is where you have to have these conversations beforehand. You have to kind of see what somebody's workout lifestyle is prior to. My previous ex, we met up at the gym for the first date. Okay, I wanted to see what the stamina was looking like. I wanted to see what was going on, what you look like behind a Facebook screen, what you look like behind a phone screen. That's why I did a workout with my previous ex. Okay, for that reason. I'm telling you, you have to see what's going on if you're into that lifestyle. But back to it. You stop initiating the intercourse because, again, you cannot make yourself become physically attracted to somebody that you're not physically attracted to. I understand that. Dang, but the conversation had to be had, but I think it's more so, don't be just putting her on things. She has to decide for herself that she wants to be put on something, because she may just be fine with it. And if she is, then y'all need to go to therapy anyway, together. Couples therapy. Instead of putting up a Facebook post, y'all need to go to therapy. But dang, you faking the, faking the orgasms and all that stuff. And I'd be like, I'm not going to play with you because I'm not about to fake anything. So I'm going to let you know that we're going to have to do something here, because especially y'all haven't had any kids and she's 29, she's going to end up on a 600-pound life if you don't put a stop to this now. Because think about this. She was already overweight and then she put on 200 plus pounds. So she's at least 300 pounds. I say at least probably like 350 since she wasn't a small gal. So I say she's at least 350 right now at 29, and y'all haven't had any kids. And then you want her to have kids for you. But it's unhealthy sometimes for an overweight woman to have kids. It's a risk that you put your children at and you put her at when you have a child when you're overweight. And I'm not saying like heavy on the stamina, okay? Heavy on the stamina. Something's going on. He probably is giving her grief. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, she's not all to blame. And if she's depressed, she only get bigger. A vicious cycle. That's what I'm saying. She's not all to blame. And Red Air said, what I heard was he told her what he wanted and gave her stuff to help. But some people in those situations help when they want a partner to do it with them. Can you be, because we are one. You're my husband. That means we should be doing stuff together to help each other out. You are the leader and you just buying me things. I don't need that, because like, seriously, this is how I am with my lack of what's the word? Determination sometimes. I'm the type of person where you could buy me a treadmill, put it in the house and everything, but that thing will collect dust. I have to go out and go to the gym so I can see other people and won't have an excuse to not complete my workout. Because I will stop doing my workout when nobody else is watching. But when there's people watching me, I have those accountability partners. They don't know they're my accountability partners, but they are. They are at the gym. Because if people are watching me, oh yeah, I'm working out hard. I'm doing that extra rep. All because I need to do it. But as soon as they stop looking at me, as soon as I'm in the house, that machine is going to collect dust. And there's nothing you can do about it. That's why everybody has different factors that work for them. Yep. Okay, so I had a running date with a marathon runner once. Bad life decision right there. See, that's what I'm saying. I'm not a runner. I'm just let people know I'm not a runner whatsoever. I run sometimes on that treadmill, 9.5. Oh, no, 9.5. I'm lying to myself. What did I get to? I got to 9 one time, but I run 7.5 right now. But yeah, back to it. What would y'all do? Y'all in the chat. I'm just telling y'all my opinion, but it's a we problem. I agree with that. As husband and wife, y'all gonna have to figure it out, have that conversation with her, because all this is being typed up to us so we can give our opinions. But I think that you need to go to a therapist. Y'all need to have a strong support system, and you need to be a strong support system for her. You are the husband. You have the final say, and you just set yourself up for failure when you buy things for her that you're not doing with her, because she's doesn't have any motivation. She has to decide for herself that that's something she wants to do. Because if she wasn't really physically fit before and didn't have that regimen in place, then you can't just spring that on her. Expect her to get on board and everything's going to go back to normal. And you said her boobs are resting on her extended stomach and all this is going on. But I think women, we have to realize that if we don't have any health issues, there's nothing with going on a nature walk. There's nothing wrong with that. Shout out to LaTanya once again for getting her 4.5 miles in. There's nothing wrong with a nature walk. There's nothing wrong with working out 3 times a week minimum at a local gym. Get you the cheapest membership, $9.99. It's like the going rate. Some places $9.95. But do that for yourself because you want to live a long life, because we don't realize that over time, life expectancy will decrease with these habits. You putting that bad fuel in, that car is going to eventually break down. And you don't want that to be the final straw for you. And I think you have a lot of life left. At 29 years old, you have a lot of life left. But this man doesn't want to have kids with you because he don't want his kids to go through the same thing that you're going through right now. Because we all will quit if we don't have the right motivating factor. I got me an online coach. My online coach has pushed me past my limits. I never thought I'd be up in here doing mountain climbers. I never thought I would be doing 45 seconds of high knees. I never thought I'd be doing that. I never thought I could do a 45-second plank, 1 minute plank. When I first started my weight loss journey, I was doing like a 15-second plank, okay? And that was a struggle, 10 to 15 seconds. I'm like, ooh, shaking, ooh, weak. Now I can do a whole 45-second plank. Now I can do shoulder taps when I'm in a plank position. The progress, but it took me getting a coach for myself. I got a coach before January 1st. I got a coach back in November, literally a couple days before Thanksgiving, because I knew that I couldn't do this by myself. I'm tired of fluctuating in the 160s. I wanted to get out the 160s to get to the 150s, and that's what he's helping me with. And now I'm realizing that you got to have an accountability partner who's been there already to understand the struggles that you face, and they also probably face those struggles as well. Every coach has a coach. There's levels to it. But I think that you just have to be her accountability partner. Really, she has to decide if she wants to do it, and she cannot be forced. That's my answer. Gym has a lot of emotional baggage for people. Very difficult hurdle. Most folks need a whole squad to feel safe at the gym. I understand that because especially for me, I'm thankful that I lost most of my weight first, and then I got a gym membership. See, if I was going to a public gym, a lot of people at the gym when I first got started, it could have deterred me because I do sometimes get anxiety going to the gym. Like, I want to make sure I'm not wearing tight clothes, where a lot of women, they wear the opposite of that. They wear tight clothes. I don't like to wear tight clothes. Even with my weight loss, I like my stuff to be kind of a little baggy on me, just a little bit, cute, but still, classy at the same time, because I don't like that attention. I don't even really like the whole leggings. I like leggings sometimes, I'm saying ban them, whatever. But some of these women today, y'all dress in all types of ways in these gyms. That's another episode. But people do feel emotional baggage because people are looking at them, recording them in the gyms. And I don't care if they're looking at me anymore, because I know that you may be judging me for what I look like right now, but y'all don't know where I came from when I was obese, and I was in a point in time where I didn't think I would be where I was now. So I'm thankful for it, and y'all can look all you want, because I know I made progress myself. Yep, put your bride out there. Humiliating. Okay, it is. Straight up thirst trap. And I'll be talking about it because I really don't like how some Christian men, like I had a guy comment on one of my episodes about how Christian women should focus on their beauty. This man was like, y'all women, and you can't categorize us all together in one little nutshell, talking about y'all women being thirst traps. All of us aren't doing that. See, that's what I was going to say. When y'all see more of this series about my weight loss, which will be coming up soon, I'm going to show y'all I wasn't thirst trapping. Never was. Even at this point, some women lose the weight and they really start getting out here wild, and they start thirst trapping and doing they dot walks and everything else because they feel like they have deserved it now. They earned it because they lost that weight. No, stay modest like you were before, because you're going to attract the wrong type of guys. But this episode, I just want to let y'all know that body positivity is important, but I don't want you to be out here thirst trapping if you are loving your body. Everybody should love themselves, but realize that loving your body, let me tell you how you can do that the best. Just to recap, loving your body, this is how you can do it. 1 Corinthians 10:31. Whether you eat or drink or whatever you do it all for the glory of God, y'all. Do it all for the glory of God. When you do it for him, then you can be positive, because you are being positive with your body. You're putting the right things in it that God would approve of. Yes, but I thank y'all so much for being here. I didn't even think I would do it this long. I think this is my first time going live for this long, but I appreciate y'all for rocking with me in this chat. I really enjoyed this conversation today. Look, progress has been made. Progress is being made, and progress will be made because it's a step-by-step process. On the future episodes that I talk about, I will be breaking down my nutrition. I'll be breaking down my workout videos. showing y'all what I eat, because 80% of it is nutrition, y'all. What you put in that body is going to fuel it for the better or for the worse. And I'm going to talk about the workouts because it's about that muscle. Y'all can't see it. I'm going to show y'all a little bit the muscle going on, but y'all see more of that later. So y'all can see that women can get muscle and still be cute. I'm going to teach y'all all about that, but I pray that this week is This is National Obesity Awareness Month. Remember, Black women, 80% of us are overweight or obese. What we can do right now, I want to challenge y'all. I'm going to give y'all some homework to do, ladies and gents, anybody who's in the overweight or obese category. What we can do is this. Write down the food that you're eating. I got this from my coach, Bricks Fitness. Write down the food that you're eating in a food journal, maybe in your notes on your phone. Write down what you're eating for a week. See what you're eating. And realize at these points in time when you're eating these food, are you happy? Are you sad? What's the emotional state that's tied to those foods? Write down what you're eating. Maybe you want to download MyFitnessPal. That's what I use. But keep a track of what you're eating, okay? And see if it's really helping you, if it's really hindering you. How do you feel? What kind of energy do you have after eating those foods? But get your fruits in, get your veggies in. Yes, you said you need that muscle up. So I know that's so important, building that muscle back up. But I appreciate y'all so much for being here. Thank y'all for being here. I really do appreciate that. I do. But we're just really trying to grow folks, because this is about, on Chelsea's Lifeline, what it's about is your spiritual, your mental, your emotional, and your physical. We haven't talked about the physical until now, and we're not going to stop. We're not going to stop because we got to change lives one at a time. Maybe you need to get that Weight Watchers food log, whatever it takes. I ain't about to be no Terminator now, okay? There is a limit for me, because some of these people be overdoing it. That is not Chelsea. Chelsea would not be overdoing it. But I still want to make sure I have my shape so I can look good in my clothes. That's why I'll never be obese again. I'll never be obese again because, as you can see, I wasn't at my happiest. You see the straight faces. You see the straight faces. That's what I'm saying. Awareness week, that's what they doing in the UK. How about improvement week? Permanent lifelong improvement. That's what we doing over here. I introduced it now, but we're going to continue this series going, and I pray that we all make progress towards our goals, because the lifelong progress, it's not about diets. It's about lifestyles. So let's choose the right lifestyle right now. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Share it with somebody. Send it to somebody who can benefit from this, to let y'all know that Black women, we are dying at alarming rates because of obesity. We don't realize it, but we are. And I want to help y'all because I've been there. And I pray that I never get back to it, because being obese is really not for me. So I pray that y'all stay safe, stay blessed, stay healthy, and make the right decisions for your health and for your children, your children's children, or maybe just for yourself. Whoever it may be for, do it all for the glory of God, because that's all it's for, is to please Him. Until next time, y'all, stay blessed, stay safe. I love y'all as always. Take care.